Welcome to the Layman Seminary. Today we're going to be talking about beginning biblical Greek 3. In other words, the future active indicative verb. You've already seen two videos before this series, and so you should know that we're primarily using David Allen David Allen Black's book, Learn to Read New Testament Greek. As far as the overview, we're just going to introduce a few video resources concerning the future active indicative and look at some translation practice that I actually did in class from there. So once again, I recommend Danny Zacharias' channel, The Singing Grammarian. And you have this song right here, the future active and middle song. All you really have to focus on at this point is the future active, but he also has part of the song includes the square stops, which is a very important concept to understand, especially with the future and other tenses later on. So I'd recommend y'all check that out. This one is pretty cool. This focuses on specifically on the square stops, and this is to the song "Smoke on the Water," and so it's very catchy and easy to remember. Okay, this video is actually the teaching from Black's book done by Robert Plummer at Daily Dose of Greek, and here's a picture of the square stops. And of course, you can have the whole discussion on the present and the future right there. And for those people that are watching this video, I think it was important for me to show you my grades, for my classes and stuff like that. I actually learned Greek, or well, you don't learn the language, you do the language is the best way to say it. But I started out in 2006 learning on my own. I didn't get to go to seminary, of course, officially until 2016, and I began same thing with the Hebrew as well. I started that about 2009. But my point in this is I want y'all to see that I can help you all get good grades. If you watch this video, if you're in seminary, by watching some of these tips, some of the things that help me get through. Of course, y'all have to do the work. You have to do the steps, but hopefully I can be a help to some of y'all out there. And for those that are never going to go to seminary, you still get the knowledge. And to me, it's actually better because I'm not one that's motivated by grades. I mean, I want to do my best, but for me, being able to be in the scripture, interacting with the scripture is the best motivation for me. And so I try to gear things where it gets a person reading fast, dealing with syntax and exegesis and exegetical outlines, sermon preparation, that type of stuff like that. So whenever you're watching these videos and you don't have to worry about going to seminary, you don't have grades, you don't have deadlines, you can go at your own pace. And of course, the drawback to that is you don't have that pressure, and some people don't perform well under pressure or the deadline accountability. But regardless of that, I just want to show y'all that you can survive Greek. I did it, and I did it pretty fast. This was Turbo Greek that I took for first year, which means it was an accelerated class, if you will. But so this is an actual paper, a graded paper from Turbo Greek on this particular lesson on the present active indicative and on the future active indicative. And so what I want y'all to see is, I know I don't have all my notes popping up, but you can see where they are, where it's highlighted and stuff. But the thing to understand is that when you miss things on your Greek assignments, it's going to look very bad. My uncle, he took baby Greek and he showed me all his work, and he had read all over his paper. And and that kind of, grieved him because, he took it at a seminary extension and stuff. And I hope someone explained at some point that you're supposed to miss all that stuff, because what you miss is what you internalize or what you got to go work at. And so these exercises are designed in such a way. And but the point I'm showing you with this is that you can miss a lot of things on your paper or your exercise and still get a good grade, because you're talking about point something of points and things like that. So I mean, it's and you'll see this throughout the future. I mean, so don't try to think you got to be perfectionist, and don't think you got to, get hundreds on every single paper. Just do your best to translate what you can. You're going to forget things. Things are going to slip your mind, but those things go back and study the next time. So here's, for example, on the future active. I look at these and I'm like, well, I either was too tired that day, or going too fast, or just jumped the gun whenever I was doing it. But I'm looking at, I can look at these now and I can see, okay, what I got wrong. And so, for example, I will write grapho. And you'll see this if you looked at the other videos. Grapho is present active indicative. It's not future. Um, if it was a grapho with the pc, I think it is, then that would be future. But I got that one wrong. And then so you singular are teaching. I put the daske, but that's he, she, it is. So the thing is that if you remember this, and this is something that a guy named James McGovern, who's in a RF Greek Peeps, I think it's called, on Facebook, a group there, and he mentioned this principle, and it makes sense that if you have a sigma at the end of a verb, you know that it's you singular. And so far, I found that to be true. So if this would have been a you singular, the way I was supposed to be putting it, this would have actually had a sigma at the end. But of course, it just has the epsilon iota, and so that should have let me know that it was third person. But see, the thing is that now, I mean, I got the paradigm memorized. Oe se amenete usi. So you grow with that. And I didn't even do these at this time. I think we were only required to do like the first 5 or the exercise, but I can do them right now for y'all. S-men. Well, men is an indication of we. I always understand it like we men. And so this is coming off of the a-me pattern, the to be verb. And so that is, let's see, a-me, estin, s-men, este, asin, I think what it is. And so, but this one tricks you because you're thinking, all right, it's got a sigma, it must be future. And so you'd have to look at that. I mean, I'm not saying I got it memorized right now. But then you have this next one, ooh, pimp say. Now, pimp, that's from pimpo. And so this is different than the lexical form. And so we see that you have the pasi. And so this is indicating that this is future. So this would be, he did not sin. And then you have kerus usin. Now the usin is the symbol for they. The way I remember it is kind of like, I love Lucy. Lucy, I'm home. But instead of that, I say, Lucy, they home. So actually, it's not Lucy, they home. It's Usi, they home. And so I see 2 sigmas here. And so I'm thinking I'm dealing with the present tense rather than the future, which would be kerux usin. Okay, so the number 9, therapuse. Well, therapuo is the lexical form, and so this is not that. And so you have a sigma, which indicates the future. So this is third person singular. So this would be he will heal. And then you have ekate, which is from echo, and it just means I have or I hold. But of course, that's the lexical form. This right here, the ete ending, if you just remember that te ending lets you know that you're dealing with the you plural, or the y'all, as we say in Texas. So this is y'all have or hold. So anyway, some of y'all are probably looking at this video saying, man, he messed up there, or he's jumbling over his words or things like that. But let's assume that I did mess up in this video. It's okay. You're still going to pass the class. I mean, I established that. These videos should be helping you internalize Greek and giving you encouragement because you've seen somebody else that went through it, and giving you tips and things like that. And the other thing is that the best way to learn Greek is share it with somebody else. Find somebody else that's studying. You'll know what it's like if you're in a class, the difficulty you have, or maybe even outside of class, with first year Greek. And so you could sympathize with someone else, or empathize actually, and help somebody else that you see is wanting to learn. And there's plenty of opportunities through social media. You can create a group, you can work together, study, do hangouts, things like that. Lastly, I just leave you with this slide again that I've showed in another video. Whenever you're doing your translations, I mean, when you're doing all of Greek, be sure to pray. You want to bold all your conjunctions and prepositions when you learn what they are. You want to separate your Greek by punctuation, and you want to separate it by phrases as you learn those. And like I said, your ability is going to increase as you go, and you want to color code things. I'll probably make a video later on showing how Logos can help with these types of things, but I'm just trying to hit the general audience before I go into those who have Logos or probably are seminary students and stuff like that. And then you always want to translate in SVO order, subject, verb, object. So I know this video was short, but hopefully you see a couple things in these videos that I've included, and things like that that will kind of ease your concerns about Greek, and perhaps even cause you to internalize some things, because I'm all about promoting these other people that are teaching this stuff. Like I said before, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I can develop specific content. If you ask me a question or want me to research something or want to see something, I can develop specific content for that. But until that time, I'm just focusing on orienting y'all to resources that will help you get through a class or learn on your own. So if this was beneficial to you, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, like it, share it with others, and let us know what you think. God bless.